Most people think the first 100,000 is about luck or a lucky break, but here is the twist that changes everything. Your first six figures come from a simple blueprint executed with relentless consistency, not from one magic investment. I am Simon, and after rebuilding my finances from bankruptcy, I learned a lesson the hard way. The first 100,000 feels uphill because you are building both capital and habits at the same time. But once those habits lock in, money begins to move with you instead of against you. Stay with me, because in a few minutes I will hand you a practical timeline you can start tonight. Let us begin with a number that makes the goal feel real. £100,000 can be reached in roughly 5 years by saving and investing about £1,670 per month, or in 10 years at about £834 per month. That is before any growth, at a modest market return, and the pace accelerates. Warren Buffett said risk comes from not knowing what you are doing. Reduce risk by knowing your plan to the pound. Step 1 is clarity. List your key home income, fixed costs, variable spending, and debts. Give every pound a job before the month begins. The job of any spare pound is to buy you freedom. For 30 days, track spending with the accuracy of an engineer. What you measure, you can move. Step 2 is the savings engine. Pay yourself first through an automatic transfer the day income lands. Set a fixed percentage, not a feeling. Start at 20% if you can, and climb toward 40% as your income grows. Charlie Munger reminds us that the big money is in the waiting. Automating your saving creates waiting power. Step 3 is the stability buffer. Build an emergency fund of 3 months of core costs in a boring high-interest account. Think of it as shock absorbers that stop small problems from knocking you off the plan. Only when this fund is in place do you push harder into investments. Step 4 is the income unlock. Cutting lattes will not fund 6 figures alone. The fastest path is to raise your earnings while you save more of them. Pick one skill you can monetize within 90 days. Resume writing, data cleaning, short-form video editing, local service advertising, anything you can sell quickly. Naval Ravikant advises playing long-term games with long-term people. Package your skill into recurring work or small retainers so effort compounds. Step 5 is the asset lane. Choose just one primary vehicle for the next year, so your attention is not diluted. Broad market index funds, a disciplined dividend portfolio, a simple buy to let plan if your market and numbers allow it, a lean online product that can sell while you sleep. Any lane can work if you master it and keep fees low. Write a one-page rule set that states how much you contribute each month, what you buy, and under what conditions you pause. Let me give you a simple example that keeps emotions calm. Invest £800 monthly into a low-cost global index and raise the contribution by £50 every quarter. At a conservative average return, you cross 100,000 faster than the spreadsheet you made on day one. The magic is not the return. The magic is the rising contribution. Pattern interrupt. Most people think discipline means saying no forever. In reality, discipline is deciding once. Automate every good decision you can so willpower is never asked to clock in. Direct debit, standing order, auto-invest. Then step out of your own way. Step 6 is the debt rule. Any money you owe above your likely investment return should be cleared rapidly. Any debt below it must be paid on schedule while you invest consistently. Borrowing to consume delays your first 6 figures. Borrowing to buy an asset that pays for itself can accelerate the journey, but only when the numbers work on conservative assumptions. Step 7 is the review rhythm. Every month, Ask 3 questions. What will I stop buying? What will I start earning? What will I keep compounding? Keep the answers short and visible. Success is not about intensity for a week. It is about consistency for years. In a moment, I will give you a 90-day sprint that locks this blueprint in place. Follow it once, and the path to your first 100,000 becomes not only possible, but predictable. Here's the 90-day sprint I promised. The clearest on-ramp to your first £100,000. 90 days might not sound like much, but it's enough to rewire habits, reset your financial direction, and prove to yourself you can actually do this. Month 1 is about radical clarity. Write down every single pound that leaves your account. I mean everything. From rent or mortgage right down to the takeaway coffee you bought without thinking. Most people leak money without realizing it, and those leaks are why the first £100,000 feels impossible. At the same time, set up one new bank account or digital wallet labeled Freedom Fund. From now on, it receives your savings automatically on payday. No thinking, no debating, just automatic. Month 2 is about acceleration. By now, you'll see exactly where you're wasting money. Cut ruthlessly on what doesn't add value and redirect that cash into your Freedom Fund. But don't stop there. Ask, how can I increase income by just £200 this month? Sell unused items, offer a freelance skill, or pick up a micro job. When I was rebuilding after bankruptcy, I earned extra by consulting a few hours a week. It wasn't glamorous, but every extra pound became fuel. That extra £200 is not just £200, it's the seed of compounding growth. Month 3 is about automation and momentum. Set standing orders to invest straight into your chosen vehicle, whether it's index funds, dividend stocks, or a small business you're building. Keep it boring, keep it consistent. Then create a visual tracker, something you can see on your wall, your fridge, or your phone, that shows your balance growing week by week. Our brains are wired to chase visible progress, and seeing those numbers tick upward is more powerful than you think. Now let me show you why the first £100,000 feels like climbing a mountain, but also why it gets easier. At the beginning, nearly all of your progress comes from your effort, cutting costs, raising income, being disciplined. But as your balance grows, compound interest quietly takes the wheel. Imagine you're saving £1,000 a month and earning just 7% returns. After 5 years, you don't just have £60,000, you're closer to £72,000 because of compounding. Give it a few more years, and compounding alone is adding thousands annually without you lifting a finger. Charlie Munger once said, "The first $100,000 is a bitch, but you gotta do it. I don't care what you have to do. If it means walking everywhere and not eating anything that wasn't purchased with a coupon, find a way to get your hands on $100,000. He was right. The grind is front-loaded. Pattern interrupt. Imagine for a moment you've just crossed £100,000. How would you feel? Relieved? Excited? Perhaps even unstoppable? That emotional payoff is crucial because it cements the habits that got you there. You'll realize the hardest work is already behind you. From that point on, wealth creation turns from a sprint into a marathon with tailwinds. But let's ground this with a concrete timeline. If you save and invest £1,000 monthly with moderate returns, you can reasonably expect to hit £100,000 in about 7 to 8 years. Increase contributions as your income grows, and you can cut that time to 5 years or less. The blueprint isn't glamorous. It's not meant to be. It's meant to work. Here's the secret rich people don't often share. The first £100,000 is the foundation stone. Everything after builds on it faster. £100,000 becomes £250,000, then £500,000, then 7 figures. But without the discipline to reach the first milestone, the rest never comes. This is why I tell my grandchildren, focus only on the first mountain, and the rest of the range will open up. So here's my challenge to you. Starting tonight, commit to the 90-day sprint. Track everything. Cut ruthlessly. Increase income by even a modest amount. Automate your savings, and watch the compounding quietly work in your favor. The blueprint is simple, but it's not easy. Stick with it, and you'll look back one day and say, that first £100,000 changed my life forever. Now let me ask you, what's the very first step you'll take today toward your £100,000? Drop your answer in the comments. I personally read every single one, because your success genuinely matters to me.